The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag tncnow.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Please let me know that you can hear me well by typing into the chat box comment section where you are chiming in from us today, and what curiosity are you bringing with you today. And also, you can use the chat box to ask questions, drop in comments, or just anything that you would like to share with us. And if this is your first time to tune in to Stories from the Fringe, Stories from the Fringe is a platform which aims to bring more diversity, equity, inclusion, and the sense of belonging in all aspects of our lives. We do this by pushing uncomfortable topics around D&IB from the fringe to the front and center of the conversations. We believe that individual differences like race, class, ability, gender, among others, okay, should not be only seen and celebrated, but also empowered. We believe that we can all be a part of this collective vision. We're happy that you chose to spend this time with us, and I am happy to introduce Monica Sekhmet Grant from NYC, whom I will introduce in just a moment. So I suggest that for you to become fully engaged and immersed with our guest today, please prepare to turn off all distractions, prepare to take mental notes or written notes so that we can all learn together from Monica. So before I also bring in Monica, I am so excited, I am so happy to introduce my guest co-host. So he was named as the most influential film producer for 2021 by Gawad Filipino. And he did an acting course with director Beverly Burhell at ABS-CBN and worked in one film with Piolo Pascual. He began as a vlogger and have since expanded his responsibilities and decided to become an executive producer. Actually, he has one movie which will be showing this month, and another film which he will produce in November with a whole new team and a production name. Everyone, let's welcome Harlan Manaliri.
Hi everyone, welcome back, Miss Jennifer, and I'm so excited. It's my second time actually, and it's my first time to co-hosting in your show. And I'm so excited with our guest today also.
Yeah, I'm so excited too to learn from Monica. So shall we bring in Monica?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, Monica.
Can you hear me?
Thank you for agreeing to guest on our show. We're so delighted
It's,
that you are here with us.
it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. I love your intro. I'm stealing that. I'm taking it to my platform. I already like what I'm seeing so far.
Uh,
Yeah. Good morning, Monica.
How you doing?
so
Yes,
Monica,
I'm fine.
uh, sorry for interrupting. Monica, can you please provide us a brief background of yourself and the work that you're doing?
Yes, I am Monica Sekhmet Grant. I'm the founder of Young Boss Media, as well as a plethora of other companies. I help facilitate ideas and I bring them to life. People like to bring me their ideas, and I help show them the light to uh, actualizing their dreams. So whether it be a television show, a business idea, an investment opportunity, I take things from the darkness and I bring them to the light. Young Boss Media is all about, people have an opportunity to speak their piece by creating television shows here in New York City. I started as a community organizer, knocking on doors, talking to people about problems and issues in their community. And that's how I was trained how to develop leaders in their community. And I recognized that growing older as a woman of a certain age, I needed to better utilize my skill of organizing people. So I said, hey, why don't I pick up a camera and educate through media? And so I found a studio here in New York City about 5 years ago, and I started producing content around community organizing, social activism, and particularly entrepreneurship, because it is my belief that entrepreneurship is the pillar of community building. A lot of issues in our communities, low income communities, Black, brown communities, Latino communities, all the communities that are not considered of the dominant society are really economical. And so by focusing on entrepreneurship and helping everyday people gain control of their economic situation, they can be a better leader in their community. And so Young Boss Media was founded out of that just desire to help people get more money, to have more freedom. And we can see right now in this day and age, like what freedom really means, and the ability to make money at your own pace, in your home, off the internet, overseas, and just be able to live the life that you want to live. So that's what Young Boss Media is, and it's grown into a platform where I also train many producers here in America as well as overseas. And we're now moving into producing films, producing series. And so that's the future of Young Boss Media that I'm working on currently. And then also, just as an entrepreneur, I get to interview so many amazing people that I get to invest in them, whether I become like a co-founder of their company, or I get to, help them grow in other ways, introduce them to other people. And I live a busy life, and at the core, I'm an artist. I like to perform. I like to, be in front of people and bring that raw passion to life. And so beyond, the money, beyond, fame, I don't care about fame. I care about emotion and passion, and that's my God-given gift. And as long as I'm able to entertain and, bring some reaction to people, I'll be happy in life.
Thank you for sharing your background, Monica.
You're welcome.
Wow, what an accomplished woman. Now, um, I've noticed, I can't help but notice, your second name is Sekhmet, and Sekhmet is not a very common name. Now, in American Indian folklore, if I'm not mistaken, they say that before a human being is born, he or she, although right now, at present, he or she is not aware of it, but before he or she was born, he or she was the one who chose that name. And that name tells about the purpose of that person when he will be incarnated in the world. So do you think that what you're doing right now, the whole gamut of it, is something related to your name, Sekhmet? And by the way, what does Sekhmet mean?
You know what? I've never been asked this in that way. I absolutely agree with what you said about the Indian folklore. I do believe that we choose the experience that we incarnate to have. I do believe that we choose our parents, that we do choose this experience. And so, as much as I might at the time right now, I did choose this time to be here. I am very awakened in what's going on right now. And the fire of Sekhmet is burning. And so I'm in my 30s, and so I'm a mature woman. When I was in my 20s, I didn't always use the fire the best way. We're all stupid at some point in our life, and so Sekhmet is my chosen name. The full name is Sekhmet Rekmat Hotep El Bey, and it's the fire goddess who came to the earth to protect peace and balance. And so that's the nature of who Sekhmet is. She was the Egyptian goddess, the child of Ra, the sun god. Sekhmet was brought to the earth to protect Ma'at. Ma'at is the 42 laws of Ma'at, and that's the laws of balance in Egypt. And so when a person dies, their heart will be weighed next to a feather. And so in order to get your heart lighter than a feather, you have to forgive yourself, forgive your enemies, not have murdered anyone, not have harmed anyone. Very hard laws to do. I mean, we kill meat. If you're a meat eater, you're breaking these laws, but it's very hard to do. We get angry at people in traffic. We get angry at our family members, but it's about protecting the laws of balance. It's my birthday month. I'm a Libra. And so those scales of balance and me wanting to protect the balance. And so I picked that name just because I saw the word warrior and I am a warrior. But the more I looked into the name itself, I said, that is who I am. And so the more that I look into Sekhmet, the more I know, that's who I am. And I picked Sekhmet maybe 15 years ago, right? Maybe around 15 years ago. And now I feel like, Sekhmet, your job isn't done yet. This is a unique period in the world that's happening right now. And what are you going to do, Sekhmet? And so and now, so I want to tell you I want to finish the story of Sekhmet, right? So Sekhmet in Egyptology, she almost destroyed the whole earth because earth was just out of hand. And so Ra had to go to the council and say, hey, what do I do? What do I do? She's going crazy. And so Ra came back down from the council and brought her some red wine. And then from the red wine, she became Hathor. She calmed down. She became the love goddess, So I have that in me too. And so I have to keep a bottle of wine near because I can feel Sekhmet revving up. And I'm like, oh, Hathor, come on. So I deal with that bob and weave every day in this time that we're in. So great question. But yeah, I absolutely am Sekhmet all day, every day until I get a little bit of Hathor after work.
Okay, so it was only 15 years ago that you fully embraced the meaning of your name and your purpose.
That is correct.
Right. Okay, Harlan, you have a question for Monica?
Yeah, I can see your jolly part, with those achievements that you have mentioned and all those things that you are engaged to. Some people and most people would like to know, who are you? Who are you during your young days? Of course, a lot of people from your colleagues know you as an entrepreneur, as a speaker. You engage to a lot of businesses and etc. And most of us, for me also, I would like to know, who are you during your young days? So we can know a little bit of you.
Good question. So I don't think a lot of me has changed, right? Even though I said I'm a little bit wiser, I make better choices. The core of me, it's still pretty much the same. I can be a bit of a loner, and I think that's me trying to balance. I can avoid, wanting to go out. I'm comfortable being in my own space, but then I have a humongous personality. And so when it's time for me to engage, I can engage fully. And so in college, I'm the partier. I'm the person, on the tabletop. Let's party. I'm the one at the football game, screw that other team. I'm that person. But then my balance is I can go home and not deal with anybody. And so I definitely get I've always gotten my energy from source. That's why I can say I'm an introvert. I don't really need to pull on other people to feel happy. Like I can be alone and just be giddy. And at that moment, once I start feeling giddy, it's like, okay, now it's time to go outside. Now it's time to go outside and give this off. And so when I'm ready to give it off, I don't care where I am. I could be in the grocery store. I can be in the restaurant. I don't care. I'm going to give it off. And then when it's like, oh, I'm tired, let me go home and retreat and do my bubble bath, write in my journal, write some poems, listen to some slow music, burn some incense. I'm that person too. And so I've always been a woman of my own drum. Always. If I want to dress as a tomboy, I'm gonna do that. If I want to dress feminine, I'm gonna do that. If I want to play an instrument, if I want to be on a basketball team, that I was kind of the and like I said, I'm an artist, so I was the eclectic person in school. But I would always get straight A's. I was always a good student, and so my friends would never know why. Like, how are you getting straight A's? We do the same things together. Yeah, but I do my homework first, and then I party with you. I take notes first and I memorize the notes and then I party with you. That's how I get straight A's. I was a kid that could get in trouble then talk my way out. I don't think my mother would say, maybe my mother would say I was a good kid because I never reported to her when I got in trouble. I was always the person who was like, I'm not going to tell my mother. I'm not going to tell my mother. So I'm going to just have to eat this.
That was really outrageous.
Has anybody reported any wrongdoing to their parents?
I'm not going to tell her.
So does that your personality still lives on right until now? I mean, you're a different person right now. You are more serious right now, should we say, or you are still the young Monica then?
You know what? Being an entrepreneur allows me to still be vocal because people y'all like to listen to me. If I listen that I had a couple of businesses and y'all want to hear me speak. So I must be crazy. And that's what you can do when you're an entrepreneur because people want to hear you speak. They think you got a little bit of money and you got a little bit of influence and they'll listen to you. And so that's what happens in the entrepreneurial world, right? If Gary Vee didn't have any money, would you listen to him? No. You wouldn't. If Grant Cardone didn't have any business or real estate firm, would you listen to him? No. And they all crazy. So being an entrepreneur allows you to still be that performer. It allows you to have that charisma. And we know, like in business, like it is the charismatic leader that tends to get the shine, But even with that said, like I'm a charismatic leader when it's just me alone. And so I don't necessarily need that. I don't care to be famous. I'll always be cool whether, people see it or not. But, and so, yeah, I think over time, I've just really gotten comfortable in my skin. And so I had to start my own business. I had to do my own thing because you don't want me working for you. Like you seriously don't want me working for you. I'm going to come in when I want to come in. I'm going to tell you how I feel about the situation, regardless of what it is. This is the situation. You don't have to like it. I'm just telling you what it is. And so you don't want the young boss working for you. So I had to have my own company. I had to start my own things. And so I think over time, I just gotten really comfortable in my own skin. So yeah, I'm pretty much just a more refined version of myself,
That was a sad reality of life, no? Sorry, that was a sad reality of life that you just pointed out, Monica. You mentioned that money talks. If you don't have money, people will shun you or totally ignore you. Yes, Harley?
Yes, totally. Nowadays, a lot of people are looking out for some kind of resources, because of this pandemic. Most of people lost their jobs, they're looking out for people that they can be inspired to. Now, my question right now is, what motivates you to start this kind of, business or the entrepreneurship that you have in right now to help those people? And what made you decide to name your company as Young Boss? Is it because most of your, the young people are they the young people that you are guiding to?
Good question. So the answer is no. It became that because that's how the world saw it as young entrepreneurs. But I originally started calling just the mindset Young Boss because, like I said, I was a community organizer and I also worked for a union. And I would talk to people all across America about their jobs and about what was changing in their jobs, why they should join a union, why they should renegotiate their contracts, and also speak to them about the future of the economy. And so we're talking 2012, 2013. And so this is at the beginning of when we're starting to hear about the Internet of Things, and we're starting to hear about how technology is taking over. And this is still when at least in America, people were thinking that jobs were being outsourced to India. And at this point, I'm seeing, well, that might be true, but mostly jobs are being outsourced to machines. And so, but people didn't understand, like the common working class person just didn't understand. They really didn't care. They just wanted, Monica, I just want my money, and we're talking about people of all different colors, backgrounds, classes. Monica, I just want my money. I just want to take care of my family. And so I could see that the old boss working for somebody, going to the factory, the old way of working just wasn't working. And so Young Boss was just a mindset of there was going to have to be a new way of getting money and surviving. And so that was the original definition of just calling it Young Boss, right? And I put out a book called Rules for a Young Boss. And I started calling it Young Boss Economic Club, Young Boss Media when I started doing interviews. But then over time, I got labeled as the young boss because I was taking on, producers and employees and things like that. So I get that. But then I would take on interns they were coming from high school and college. And so it became kind of shaped as helping young people produce media, helping young entrepreneurs just starting out, helping new entrepreneurs. And so it took that shape. But originally it was just about, we got to change how we look at, how we get money. You asked another question, but thank you for asking that part.
Yes. And aside from that, you have helped a lot of people. What really motivates you to still go on? You have achieved a lot of things. What's still lacking of you? You have mentioned earlier that you still want to produce a film. We want to know what are still that you're planning to ahead of that.
Yeah. So what motivates me, I think truly, I'll tell this to anybody that wants to be in entrepreneurship, like truly be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. I know at one time, I wanted to be.
Tell you, Monica.
Be very careful because you might want to be the richest woman, the richest man on the planet. You want to have all these things. And then when you start to manifest that and you start to manifest yourself around a whole bunch of billionaires and you see how lonely they are and how boring their lives are. And it's like, oh, I don't want this. I don't want this. I want this. And no matter how much money I get, or you don't know how much money I got and it doesn't matter. Right. And I want to go back to the core of that is that we are still humans. And I didn't come down to this earth to get a whole bunch of things. I did not incarnate to get things. I came for an experience and I want my full experience. And so my full experience truly comes from being in the trenches. I don't care where I go, whether I'm in the Philippines, I'm in Manila, I'm in Nigeria, I'm in America, I'm going to the hood. I want to find the best food. The best food is not in the rich neighborhoods. The best food is that hole in the wall place where it's like you might get shot or stabbed outside, but that's where the best food is. I want to go. I want to listen to the best music. I want to dance. I want to have a full experience. Now, I also do want to go to the best beaches. Also do want to ride in nice, luxurious cars and do all that too. But I don't want to miss out on just living, just laughing, seeing kids play. And I think actually experiencing what I was asking for and realizing, oh, I don't necessarily want all of this. I started to come back to center, to come back to balance. And here we go, talking about balance again. And just seeing like I really do gain a lot from helping people. And it's not even like a savior complex. I learn from everyday people, you know, and for me, like learning about yourself and learning about yourself through other people, it feels good. It feels good. When I was an organizer, you know, just sitting on people's couches, listening to their stories and saying, you know what, I'm not a white man in Arkansas, but I've experienced that feeling of depression. I've experienced that feeling of doubt. I've experienced that feeling of not knowing where my next meal is going to come from. So I got to figure something out. And that's who I want to help. And that's who I want to connect with, because I feel like I came into this body to at least uplift. I don't think I'm Jesus. I don't think I'm some great spiritual leader. Maybe I am. I don't know. But
who knows, right?
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that's how I was right. I don't know. Don't make a religion out of me until 2,000 years later. But like I feel good when I help others, you know, and that's what I feel like. That's what's going to give me gas. That's what's going to give me fuel for the rest of my life. And so what I see in business and what keeps me motivated in business is I got to get that money. I got to get that money to build that hospital. I got to get to know this person so I can build roles. So I interview people, right? I do what you all do. And I interviewed a doctor. She's a surgeon in South Africa. And she says, you know, it's not that people are dying of diseases. It's that a lot of women are dying because they can't get to the hospital to give birth to their baby. We need roads. So it's like, how do I connect this person that can build roads to the person that has money to get infrastructure in South Africa? How do I do that, you know? And so my mind is like trying to connect dots on how to solve problems. And I still think in a very artistic way. And so that's what keeps me motivated, of just solving problems that can really help people. But also, I might be the only person in the room that gives a crap. So let me make sure, you know, like everybody, I'm just here to get my cut. I'm here to get my commission. It's like, well, cool. But I want to be the one that can say, let's do this. Let's do that, because these people actually need it. Because you don't take nothing with you when you die. You know, except these experiences. We have past life experiences. We can do past life regression, you know, so we can see where we were. So we can take those experiences with us, but we can't take none of this stuff with us. So I don't really, you know, get a kickoff for just having a whole bunch of stuff, but I do want to have just full on experiences of the good and the bad. I want to laugh and cry and all that, you know.
How about the ugly?
Yes,
It's important.
Nice that at your current stage, you're accomplished women, but still you are open to opinions, you know, to a lot of experience that coming in your way, and you know, your ears are very open to a lot of people, and these things that really motivates you to help people, because you have heard a lot of things from other people, right? And then based from these experiences, have you encountered, or have you been in a situation where you were touched by someone else, by the one you have guided to? I mean, hey, Monica, you have touched me a lot. You have done so much, a lot of things to me. Is there some point in your life that someone really owes his life to you, or you know, something owes to you, something like that?
You know, you might be wrapping up because it's about that time. People say that. People say that to me, but I can only recognize when I've been touched. And there's been a few times where like I'm in an interview and I'd start crying because of everything that this person has gone through to help other people. And so if people say I touched them like that, I don't know how, but God bless them. You know, I hope that I'm making an impact, you know, and that's all I want to do.
Yes. You are definitely, you're making a lot of impact to this world, but somehow, you know, you have mentioned you're not about the money, the fame, but somehow, you know, just a wild question.
I attracted.
Do you admire one person, you know, to be the next Oprah Winfrey or something like that?
I'll always get the next Oprah. If I'm going to aspire to be anybody, I want to be the next Mansa Musa.
Who? I'm sorry.
The next Mansa. So Mansa Musa was the richest man on the planet. He was the king of Mali, and the reason why he was, I'll give you just a sad story. He wasn't supposed to be the king. Mansa Musa, he wasn't supposed to be the king. His cousin was supposed to be the king, but his cousin wanted to do other things. He ends up becoming the king, builds an empire around salt and trade, and then takes a historic trip to Mecca because he was a Muslim. He takes a trip to Mecca, and on his way to Mecca, he's giving out gold, he's giving out jewels, rubies, to the point where he goes to Egypt and disrupts their entire economy because he gives out so much, right? And so and still he was the richest man to this date on the planet. Mansa Musa, look him up. So if I'm gonna look up to somebody, I'm gonna go for the top. I'm sorry, Oprah. I'm going for the top.
I hope some people like you, just throw away the money just for helping other people. Can we have you here in the Philippines?
I got you. Because listen, because like when you can give it away, that means it's yours. Like you're not worried about it. Like come on, take it.
Yes.
I agree.
You are too very confident about this thing. I'm sorry, Jennifer, you're saying.
Yeah. I really love this conversation, but before we continue, let's have a short break.
Yes.
Okay, so if you have any questions later after the break, Arlan. Thank you.
Let's find the question.
Have you been dreaming of launching your own podcast but don't know how and where to start? Let ValuePod Productions podcast editing and management services help you effortlessly launch, syndicate, and grow your podcast. Message us at facebook.com/ValuePodProductions. ValuePod Productions podcast editing and management services, humanizing personal connections through podcasting.
TNC is a live stream platform of online shows for people on the go. Please watch all of our shows as seen on the screen. Imagine having your own show, your own playlist, your own content, but we make it easier for you. TNC aims to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our vision is to become a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. You can watch live or replay via Facebook or YouTube. Please follow us also on IG and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search hashtag TNCnow for sponsorships. Please email now at thenewchannel.com or send us a direct message. Enjoy these life-changing shows because we make them for you. Of course, please continue supporting Stories from the Fringe. We're live streamed every Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Philippine Standard Time. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jolita Esplana, Apple Esplana. Thank you also, Resil Ramirez, Jason Carmona, Jessica Lagan for always tuning in. Also, thank you for your constant support, Teresita Linus Manalo. So shall we bring Monica and Harlan back?
Yes, we're back. We're back. So we had a great conversation for the first half of the hour. So Monica, how are you right now? What's your feeling? I mean, I've seen your accomplishment. You began doing your book, and it was already published. Your book of Mind Your Own Business and Prosper. Can you tell us about this?
Yeah. You had me sweating in the first round. So, I had to go and do some push-ups and, get my breath back.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be back on your show, and I love the break. And so I was like, I want my show up there. So we're going to have to talk. I like this.
Why not?
Well, we can have a second
Listen,
round.
listen, I can be in the Philippines. Listen, I can be there. Mind Your Business and Prosper. It's actually a book about how I became who I am. But you know how people like to tell the good stories? I don't believe in only telling the good stories. I believe in telling about the mess, telling about the bad stories, telling about the failures and what you learned from them. Because truthfully, I feel like I learned the biggest lessons when, I hit my head and I hit my bumps and bruises. And so things about integrity, lessons of showing up on time and what happens when you show up 5-10 minutes late, and, how the power dynamic changes in a meeting if you're late to a meeting. What you can learn from, volunteering for free. I do a lot of free work. I do a lot of work for free. One, I don't like, creating the dynamic of employee boss type of dynamic, but you can learn a lot from, giving your time to organizations, because you can see, what do you need? What kind of services do you need? And that way I can come back and say, hey, because you were my trial company, I can give you a better rate, but to everybody else, I'm charging. There's so many things that you can learn, and you learn about people. A lot of mistakes that you learn in your previous relationships that, you don't always marry the person that you first started dating in school because you just mess it up totally. You need those type of relationships so that when you're wiser, you can say, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to do that again. And so Mind Your Business and Prosper is really about, like, you are your first business. You have a mission in life. You have goals that you set. You have to go on a path and a journey to accomplishing those goals. And that's how you determine your success, not by what your peers are doing, not by what your mom and dad, it's not by what you tell your kids to do. It's about what they come into this life to accomplish, and do they get close to that? And so you're your first business, and I truly believe if you mind your business, you put your mind to your business, to yourself, you shall prosper. And it's a real self-reflective book of me just saying, like, these are my flaws. And also, when you see your girl on that Forbes list, like that top Forbes list, can't nobody come out and say, I remember when Monica was doing that. That's in the book already, boo-boo. I already talked about that. So, it's really just me saying, like, this is who I am. This is like my background. This is my foundation. And I learned the hard way. And most of us do. We just don't like to tell anybody. We like to sweep it under the rug and act like we don't make mistakes, like we're perfect. Perfect ain't sexy to me. I don't like perfect. I don't like perfection, and like some of my greatest ideas, my greatest creativity comes out of imperfection. And I realized, oh, that was great. Oh, it's like lightning in a bottle. You can't predict when something magical happens. It just happens. And a lot of times it's out of like that imperfect moment and it's brilliant. You can't plan for that. And so it's just like a lot about, letting loose, not being so serious. And through, me being open about, this is where I messed up. This is what I did when I was in school. This is what I was doing. It was crazy. And here I am now. Like, you too can be great.
You too can be
you
great.
said about you said a lot about the imperfections, and so do you have the greatest fear of your life that that frustrates you somehow, this in spite of all these things that coming in your way? Do you have the greatest fear in your life of frustration?
Honestly,
Wow.
I thought about that. Yeah. I thought about that recently because of the fear that's going on right now. We know the elephant in the room. I won't get y'all censored, but we know the elephant in the room, and we know the fear that's going on. That some of it is real and some of it is forced, right? And I really had to sit with, I don't fear that. That's not my fear. And I also won't allow other people to push their fears on me. And so so the deeper, and I meditate, like, what do I fear? And I think like my biggest fear is, and I'm being selfish, right? My biggest fear is not actualizing my purpose. That's my biggest fear. Like I don't want to come back to this earth if I don't have to, right? I feel like there's some better dimension that I can be than here right
totally
now.
And
so if I'm here, it's like, what I got to learn, what I got to do, what you need from me. So I don't have to come back and do this again. And so I think that's my biggest fear is like, am I not doing what I came to do? But I don't have a fear of the unknown. I don't have a fear of because you know what, also, like, as a kid, I moved around a lot. So meeting people, being in strange places and having to adapt, I'm really good at that. That's why I was able to move around the country a lot. I'm really good at that. I'm good at being uncomfortable. And so for me, it's just like, if I've been able to overcome all of this, I think just my biggest fear is having to come back because I didn't forgive the person that stepped on my toe, So I forgive you, So like, that's kind of like where I sit.
I read somewhere, Monica, that the earth is the Harvard of souls. So for me, I totally agree with you. I want to be done with Harvard because you have to learn a lot of, trials, sufferings, and everything, the whole gamut of it. So I want to go to Yale next time. I want to go to Oxford next time. Learn
somewhere else. Take me somewhere else.
Somewhere else, but not here.
And somewhere better.
All right, so it's 7 to 9 days before Christmas, Monica. Now I wonder, do you have anything on your wish list? You haven't thought about it.
She has everything. I don't think she has to wait this.
Just family time. It's just family time. I'm not much of a. I give small gifts, but I'm a giver. Like during the year, like if I know you like something, I'm gonna get it. If I can get it, I'm gonna get it for you. So when it comes to like just arbitrary gift giving, it's like, I'm not going to do that. Like, because also like my father was Jehovah's Witness, my mother, came up on a budget. So she made sure that she could do what she could do. And so I haven't really like, I do like holidays. I like any day that is like celebratory. So I'll say that food, I look forward to food. Thanksgiving, you know, in America, we celebrate Thanksgiving, even though that's rooted on a terrible holiday, you know, I celebrate it. But anytime people come together just to eat and be jolly, I'm for it. But I don't like the forced spending. I don't like that culture. But I will say, so here in New York, it gets cold. The tree comes out. I like looking at the lights. I do like that. Maybe I'll put up a tree this year. Maybe I'll do that. So I like the seasonal bit of it, but the people killing each other in shopping stores over a TV.
Like Black Friday, right? I've seen the videos. Goodness.
It's real. It's real. It's not just like one video. It's like 50 states across America celebrate Black Friday, busting down a Walmart to get a TV. Yeah, no, it's not. And so I'm not sure what it'll look like this year because of Corona and just how it's impacted people's wallet. You know, I don't know what spending will look like. Also, more people are spending online, so I'm not sure what that'll look like. But I outside of the superficialness of it, I actually do like Christmas. I do like holiday times, people slowing down. You know, arbitrarily becoming religious. I like those people that all of a sudden start quoting Jesus. I like that too. But I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I didn't realize it was 79 days. Now you got me wanting to text people like, hey, 79 days, get your wallet ready. Yeah, maybe I should start fundraising.
Oh yeah, I agree with
mentioned that your sorry. Go.
Yes, Harlan.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting.
Okay. Yeah, Monica, you have mentioned your father is a Jehovah's Witness. That gives you the idea of helping people because you know their mission is to educate the nationwide or the whole world about the Bible, etc. Does this give you the reason why you're helping a lot of people?
So it's interesting, right? So the immediate answer is no. But this is why I believe in like the spirit and I believe in ancestors, because my father, he left the Jehovah's Witness when he was like I guess like late 20s, right? The world didn't end. And so he was like, I'm leaving. And so from my father, I didn't really get the immediate teachings of Jehovah's Witness, but I knew my grandmother before she passed away. And so fast forward into my young life, I'm knocking on doors, talking to people about their community and not realizing why I'm so good at it. Like I'm naturally good at knocking on doors and talking to people about what I believe in. This is what my grandmother did. You know, this is like an intrinsic trait that I already have that she gave to me. You know, and so my father didn't pass that on because he was he's really been closed about it until a friend of mine who had a similar experience to him kind of started having a conversation to open him up. And so there's so many things that I learned that I didn't know about my father, about the Jehovah's Witness. But my grandmother, she was fully living, you know, she was a full Jehovah's Witness and she was on the doors. And so now I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but like if I'm going downtown or I see like Jehovah's Witness passing out the watchtower, I take a book, I read it, I respect that because like my grandmother did. How dare I walk past, you know, my grandmother and her crew, you know? And so I definitely shout out to the Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, and the work that you do. And it definitely has influenced my genes and my DNA.
Okay, thank you, Monica, for that. We're close to the bottom of the hour. Now, are there 3 actionable insights that you would like to leave our viewers when it comes to entrepreneurship?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You know, just be willing to be the crazy one, make a fool out of yourself, learn from it, continue to be the crazy one, continue to be the loudest one in the room, continue to be memorable. Don't be afraid. Keep your eyes on the prize and just remember that you are the prize. I think it's easy to watch, social media and other people and think that you want what they want. You have to really be clear on what it is that you want and why you want it, and stay focused on that, because people will dangle carrots in front of you and have you chasing it when it really doesn't suit you. And then also be willing to change. Entrepreneur is a long game. And so we mature over time. You're not going to be the same person you are when you're 20, when you're 30, 40, 50. And so be willing to change, because you see like they say the average age of like startup founders are in their 40s. So here we have now a new generation of entrepreneurs that are starting in their teens, right? And so I can imagine when I was 15, I was crazy. I'm crazy now, but like it was like immature crazy. So like you have to give your chance an opportunity to change and evolve, and just to see the entire world for what it is, and not be stuck in ideas, and really just stay balanced and stay in the middle. I think I'll give you a lot of points. But really just stay true to yourself, go for the gold every single time, and be willing to grow, from where you are. And I think that's just whether you're an entrepreneur or in life, that applies, because, right now, like you could have been an entrepreneur before COVID, and now you might have to go back and get a job just because the way things are, suck it up and do what you have to do, and then reset, replan. You never know how this world is going to turn. And so it's okay. It's okay to have to change and be flexible, but just remember, you are the prize. Go after what you want, as long as it's for the highest good, and just stay focused on that. And I think everything else will work out and fall in place.
Mm-hmm. We've requested for 3 actionable insights, Monica, and you gave us more than that. You're such a giver. You're so generous. I can feel your passion, your generosity, and it's my honor. It's an honor to meet you in this incarnation. And we'll keep in touch. So for our viewers, how can they keep in touch with you through social media?
So I'm going to tell you right now, I do not be on social media like that. But if you want to really catch me, go to LinkedIn, and you can look at me at Monica Sekhmet Grant. Go to LinkedIn, and you need to be talking about some kind of business, and we can talk business. If you're trying to holler, I'm taking. But, if you just want to say that you like what I got going on, you can go to monicagrantshow.com. I am on Facebook and IG, but that's kind of for, I've been on those platforms since 2004, like from the beginning. Like I'm older now. It's tiring, but you can find me on LinkedIn though. I definitely am on LinkedIn, and monicagrantshow.com. And I watch my show, YouTube, find me on YouTube, The Monica Grant Show. And I'll be around.
Mm-hmm.
I still have one question with Monica. If you still have time.
Rhea, come.
Do you still have your free time for yourself, for your personal things? Monica, do you still have free time for yourself?
Oh, I force it. But also I have great people around me that understand like their role, and I understand my role, and we move things forward. But yeah, you have to force your personal time. And also when you do that, you recognize like, okay, if I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna do this, I'm not gonna waste time. I'm not gonna lollygag, And so one thing I recognized as when I was organizing, the easiest way to find a leader is the person that's already doing stuff. The person that's already doing stuff, that's already busy, knows how to take on more tasks. But the person that ain't doing nothing, don't worry. Don't waste your time with them. Find the person that's already active, because they'll figure it out. And so I've just figured it out.
Mm-hmm. And you also, Harlan, how can our viewers keep in touch with you?
Yes, of course. Thank you for this floor. You can get in touch with me, to all the televiewers. Just visit my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and also my FB page, Harlan's Entertainment Production. And don't forget also to watch, Monica, you just watch my upcoming film this October. I mean, this November 5 to 14. To ticket to me, just don't forget to buy. It's a very cheap price. It's To Love You, the film. And of course, just watch my second film also. We're going to be shooting this November of 2021 for my next and new production team. Yes, I would like to thank also my Novicens who taking care of my skin, Dr. Raul Guanzon, and of course, scissors and razors for my hair. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a lovely
It's
time
amazing.
conversing with you, Monica, also with you, Harlan. I'll, and dear viewers, I have a very beautiful surprise for you. So for the remainder of the season, so that's about 3 to 4 more episodes, Harlan will be our co-host. So you'll be seeing
That's a
more
good
of
Wow.
look.
Harlan for the
It's a good
remainder
look.
of the season.
Thank you. That publicly announced. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. And
Congratulations.
Thank you
dear
so much.
viewers, if you saw value, if you learned a lot from today's conversation, please let us know in the comments section. And with a rating of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, please let us know. Drop in your responses in the chat box. And also, we'll be happy to have you again next Thursday, October 14, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Philippine Standard Time. And thank you so much for being with us again. Have a good rest of your day and evening. So we'll say goodbye, Harlan.
Bye bye. Thank you so much, and see you till next time.
God bless you all. Take care,
God bless
everyone.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.